Mark, me, Steve Leahy, Dan, Brendan. Technically, we've got enough. We have a quorum to start. So, somebody want to make a motion to open the meeting?
I move we open the meeting.
Second.
All right, let's vote on that. Mark,
Aye.
Steve,
Aye.
Dan,
Aye.
Brendan.
Aye.
I'm also an aye. All right, and Jane Matarazzo is entering the meeting. So this is the Sherborn Advisory Committee meeting of Tuesday, May 10th. It is at 7 o'clock. I'm calling the meeting to order. But I will give, I'll wait a few minutes for more advisory members to show up. I know Natalie's not going to be here. And then I wasn't sure about Wasim and Peter. We'll give them a couple of minutes. Here. All right, so really we're just waiting on Wasim. So I think we'll just go ahead and get started. I think this is actually going to be probably a very brief meeting. These will be easy minutes. Does somebody want to volunteer to take easy minutes?
I can probably do that.
All right, Steve, thanks. So first, the agenda. Addition of topics not reasonably anticipated. I do have a change, which is I found out at the last minute that Jen Thompson, who is the Arpa consultant, she is actually not available tonight. She is she had to go to the emergency room with her husband. So we're going to have just a very brief discussion of the Arpa stuff, but we're not going to have anything substantive. And we're going to reschedule that. And anybody who has shown up here just for the Arpa discussion, which is basically the whole reason for this meeting, I apologize. But we're going to reschedule that during the meeting today. Other than that, I didn't have any additional items. Did anybody else have anything that they wanted to add to the agenda?
My coffee?
All right. Hearing none, then we'll have liaison reports. Then we'll have a sort of brief overview of what we are hoping to accomplish or discuss with the Arpa stuff when we do finally meet with Jen. And then we'll do the previous meeting minutes that we bumped from the town meeting. All right, anybody have any questions or comments or concerns about the agenda? All right. Then otherwise, can we go to liaison reports?
I have an item. It's not really a liaison report, but I got an email to my to the website from a town citizen about the sustainability coordinator. So the question was, can you provide an update on the grant money that is paying for the sustainability department, but I think they mean coordinator. How much was the grant originally, and how long or how much has been spent to date? My recollection of the implementation was the department would be funded by the savings they generated. Is that correct? And can you update the town on those matters? So I don't really have the details. I'm not sure it's a question for us or if I should punt this to Gino. But I wanted to sort of throw it out to the group, see what you guys thought.
Yeah, I mean, number one, whatever the grant amount was, I am pretty sure that it's all been expended because I'm pretty sure that the town has the full cost of the sustainability department in the budget this year, right?
Yep.
So I don't know off the top of my head what the amount was, and I don't remember if it was fully funded in the first year and then 50% in the next year, or some kind of a decreasing scale or not. Again, if he is interested in those details, I'm not even sure Gino might be the most appropriate person. I mean, I think all of the people who were in a position to have the direct knowledge of that at the time no longer work for the town. So it's one of those things where I'm not even sure who the most appropriate person is right now to ask. But probably punting that question to Gino would be appropriate. What was the other part of the question?
So how much was it originally for? How much has been spent to date? And my recollection was the role would be funded by the savings they generated. I think it was sort of sold that way, but that's in reality, that's not actually, it's not a 1-for-1. We hope that there's a return on investment for that position, but it wasn't like a 1-for-1. They're going to save us $100,000 and the role is $100,000.
Right. I mean, I think we had this discussion, right? I mean, I think we had a specific advisory meeting where we discussed the sustainability department and this whole accounting of the costs and sort of what they were bringing in to the town. And from what I recall, what we determined was, I mean, I think Gino had a sort of accounting of the grants and stuff that they had been responsible for over the course of the past year. And it did amount to something greater than the entire department's budget. But like you said, it isn't exactly a 1-for-1, and it's not like they are going out to get grants which are directly paying for the sustainability budget, right? It's like, they're getting things like the EV station installed, which cost an amount of money that, it essentially the town otherwise would not have had that money, So I guess, I guess I'll open it up to the rest of advisory to see if you guys have any thoughts about it.
Steve, one thought that comes to mind is I do recall that the proponents of this position said that, yes, the collective town will benefit from certain grants and projects, but also individual taxpayers could come or benefit from the position in terms of if their property was eligible or defined to have the heat pump or other types of energy saving benefits, that they would help the individual taxpayers. So that's hard to quantify because there is a collective benefit and an individual benefit. And that's what I recall.
I can go through old emails and stuff and try to piece it all together. I don't want to spend a ton of time on it, especially if
I wouldn't.
Somebody does know. But do you guys know? Do you recall what year we voted for that?
2 years ago.
2
years ago.
Okay, so the 2020. Okay.
Fiscal year 2020 though, right? Because it was before COVID. I remember we were in a room together. So
Yes, it was
Yeah, it
so
was,
maybe it was fiscal year 20, so it may have been
2019.
2019.
yes,
Okay.
exactly. That was the first year they got the grant, correct?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I can search old emails for that. Okay.
Diane, go ahead. You're muted, Diane.
And I can gather some information and get it to you tomorrow.
Okay.
All right,
Yeah.
I'll give you all the backup. I'll speak to Gino, I'll speak to Dorothea. I'll give you the dates, and I know it was a shared grant at one time with, I believe, Holliston. So I'll get you the backup information and get it to you.
That'd be great.
Okay.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Right. Any other liaison reports or liaison adjacent? All right. If not, then let's on to the ARPA discussion. Again, for anybody who has joined late, Jen Thompson, the ARPA consultant is at the last minute not available for this meeting. So we're not going to be having any substantive discussion about the ARPA funding funds. So we are going to reschedule that. But I think Diane or Dan or Deb, I think you guys have all been in meetings with her leading up till tonight. So I don't know if you wanted to have a sort of just a brief overview of the things that you guys have discussed.
Yeah, I can give you really a quick overview, Stephen. If the advisory remembers back in, I think, late January or February, the board tasked myself, along with Deb Seffering, Dan Seshel, and Jen Thompson, our ARPA consultant, to meet and try and put together exactly what was out there for ARPA requests. And so I know I sent out a broad email to boards and committees and department heads, as long as into elected officials and commissions, and asked them if they had a project that they would like to see funded by ARPA. And the response was overwhelming. And so we started meeting on a weekly basis and gathering the requests that came through, and then asking for narratives on why they felt that this request of theirs was deserving of ARPA funds. And so Jen has put some stuff together that she will present to you at the next meeting. And we categorized them. We met on a weekly basis. There were so many requests to go through. So I know that Jen can come back next week. I spoke with her. And I don't know if Dan or Deb has anything they'd like to add to it, but we have quite a few requests coming forward.
So that's great, Diane. I don't really have a lot to add. I just note that the material that got sent around includes the requests that came in. And just to add to what Diane said, it also includes a lot of items from capital budget 5-year plan, since some select board members expressed an interest in using some portion of ARPA funds for funding capital items. So those items are on the list as well.
Great. So our goal is for advisory to have our sort of overview with the consultant about the ARPA, so that we can essentially give our input as to what we think the strategy should be, but ultimately the select board will be the ones sort of determining the process. So I believe that the select board's plan is to meet next Thursday, the May 19th, to discuss. So that's why we were trying to get it done the week before. So I want to reschedule for next, we'll go back to Wednesday, our normal day of the week at 7 p.m. I believe we've already confirmed with Jen that she is available. So essentially, we're just going to postpone this discussion until next Wednesday. So hopefully that is okay with everybody.
I guess, Stephen, can I just add, like, I don't know if everybody had a chance to look at the list of ARPA requests. If anybody had any specific questions of any department head we should invite to the next meeting, so that, you know, the questions can get answered before the select board meeting.
Yeah, that's a good thought. All right, let's in the coming days, I'll take a closer look at that list. I mean, unless advisory wants to discuss that right now, but I figure it's mostly going to be like the department heads that are asking for major ARPA requests that are outside of the capital budget cycle. That would be my guess. But unless advisory anyone else has any thoughts about who they would to be present at the meeting in case we had questions.
Steve,
Jen's role? I'm sorry.
go ahead, Jane. Go ahead.
Well, I just was going to ask, like, Jen, I know she's the consultant, but would she be able to speak to each of the requests? Was that the intent of her presentation? I'm just wondering if, you know, if she has the information that we would otherwise ask of the department heads, in which case maybe we don't, or whoever it is that made the request, in which case maybe we don't need to ask them all to come.
We have a basic narrative that was given to us, that was included in the packet, I think, that you received from Jen.
Yeah, I
can
don't think-
certainly email some of the requesters and ask them if they would like to attend. If you have some specific questions and you want to let me know, I can just ask some specific people to attend, and then the others can come if they want during the select board's meeting. It's up to you how you want to handle it.
So did Jen have one-on-one meetings with any of the?
No, we did not.
various- Okay,
No, we did not have any one-on-one meetings. They
I see.
sent
So
me
effectively,
emails.
so Jen has no additional information basically than what you emailed to us.
Yes, that's all we have.
That's helpful.
Dan, did you have some comments?
I was just, so, there, I mean, I was involved in putting this list together, but, in reading over it this afternoon, a couple questions came to mind to me that perhaps department head could answer. And I was going to think, Steve, maybe I would just email those to you this week and let, funnel that through you rather than having a
Yeah.
conversation about that now.
Yeah. Yeah, so I would say anyone on advisory, if you have specific, if you go through the list and you have kind of questions that you would have for specific department heads or people, just email me and Mark directly. And then basically I'll get an email out to those relevant people to invite them to attend the meeting next week. Does that sound good?
Steve, I had two generic questions. They weren't specific, so I can mention them now or I can email them to you, but they were for more clarity on where there may be some crossover, between or among requests, because there were some that sounded similar and I wondered if, they weren't partially showing up in more than one place. And then the other generic question was, in some specific cases, it said that, we've applied for an earmark or we've applied for another grant, but just in general, which ones, for which of these requests might there be other sources of funding? Through a grant of some kind or through an earmark of some kind?
Well, anything that we put in the earmark, we've made a notation on the side of the graph that you have.
Yeah, but
So-
I don't know if grants, water, is water something you can get a state grant for? You know what I mean? I'm just curious as
right.
to whether any of this would be the subject of a different grant that we might be able to apply for.
Well, I think that's a discussion probably to have with the proponent that's asking to use the ARPA funds to look into some grants.
Okay. And then I couldn't remember how much was left. How much money is left?
Gosh, I don't have it right here with me, but it's about 900,000.
Yeah, I seem to recall a little below $1 million. All right. Any other questions? All right, then I think with that, we'll close out the ARPA discussion and we'll basically revisit it next Wednesday. So again, if you have any questions or people that you would like to ask questions of specifically, just email their names to me and Mark, and then I'll get invitations out to them. All right, last thing we have is previous meeting minutes, which Jane very helpfully emailed out. Unfortunately, I only have a PDF version, so if there are any edits, I think we'll have to do it old school. And Jane, have you do the, what do you call it, the edits, and then get them back out to me?
Sure. It was a Google Doc. Dan, I think I just worked on your version of it.
Oh, really?
So,
I saw it as a PDF.
oh, I didn't even realize it. So what I sent out was a PDF. I didn't realize that.
At least that's on
Generated.
the email attachment that I had was a PDF anyways.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, Jane, I'm in your email, and for whatever reason, the Word doc isn't opening. There's a PDF at the bottom that's opening.
Well, let me go. I can go to your email to me, Dan, and then go back to the link because I was able to edit by using that link.
Okay.
So let me do that.
Are you, Sorry, if you're pulling it up, then Jane, can you share your screen on it?
Yeah.
I'll stop my screen share.
All right, let's see. Sorry, I thought I had it, but it's the wrong, it's not the right document, sorry.
That's right. Do you want me to just go back to sharing my screen on it, and then if there are any edits,
Maybe, I'll keep looking for it while you do that, and
Okay.
then.
all right. My first edit is my name is with a V, not a PH, so just change that.
I'm so sorry, that was a whole, I've done that twice now, because it's a cut and paste, I am so sorry.
Well, that's because Leahy is PH, so I think it's very confusing to everyone.
I'm really sorry about that, Steve.
That's okay. Let's see, I've only read through roadway management here, which was fine so far, but did anybody else have any edits through what is on the page currently? Okay. Right, so at the time of that meeting, Sean hadn't actually removed it yet, right? It was sometime after that meeting. It was sometime after that meeting that that he officially removed it.
There is a typo though, in 13 tree removal. I don't know what that dollar amount's supposed to be.
Yeah, there should be one. I think it should be 150,000, right?
Mhm.
There should be
Steve, I
number
think
zero.
I have it, I think I have it, so do you wanna
Okay.
stop
I'll
sharing
stop
and see
share.
if I can bring it up?
Yep. Also, just announcing Wasim Basili has entered the chat. Wasim, just so you know, so Jen Thompson, the ARPA consultant, actually at the last minute is not available tonight. So we postponed that ARPA discussion. We're going to have another meeting next Wednesday, our usual night at 7 p.m. And she will be hopefully present.
So now, all right, so I think the document is up, but it's not letting me edit either now.
Isn't this the document that you had edited?
Yes, I think it is, but
So weird.
I don't know what's going on.
What if you go to open with Google Docs up top there?
Wait, I don't have. Let me get, sorry, I had to get something else out of the way. Oh, this might work, this might work. Oops. It works if I can type. All right, what was the other one about the,
The figure in the trees, you were missing a 0. That was number 13.
Oops. Number 13.
If you go all the way to the right, use your scroll bar further.
We are in the way.
I don't know why you keep on putting up and just.
I cannot get the scroll bar. I'm trying to minimize the zoom, which is not working.
Do you have a scroll wheel? Can you just scroll down with a scroll wheel on your? Oh, but are you on a laptop
I am.
or two-finger drag? Does two-finger drag scroll?
Not on mine, no. You know what, why don't I don't want to hold everybody up. Just let me write down the changes. I'll do it right after this. I'll get out of the meeting. I'll do it right after this. So it's, somebody said something about Sean had not withdrawn yet. Is that an edit?
I was just trying to remember the timing of when Sean officially said that he wanted to withdraw it because it was likely to get covered by ARPA, and I think it was after this meeting, so I think that this is correct in terms of
You know what? This is not right, because this is Dan's original suggestions, but it's not the edits that I made. So I don't know why that is. So let me go back. Just, I'll take the edits and I'll, one way or another, I'll get them in.
all right, can we, let me see.
I had gone through, I had gone through and I had changed to Mr. Clean to Sean Colleen. I had taken that likely, included among the projects likely to be undertaken with this funding. Dan, you had one other edit, but Steve, since I'm not scrolling, I think that you should probably share again.
All right, here's what I'm gonna do.
Everybody can see it.
All right, let's see here. All right, can everyone read this? All right, so I believe that this is the version that Dan had edited, right? I had to find it in my, all right, you know what I'm gonna do here? Stop tracking changes, because we're just going to track visually. So then we're gonna. All right, and then the other change here, we needed another 0. Great. All right. Now, this is the last page. Anything on this page? Actually, I still need to read through this.
I think in this first paragraph of Article 31, again, there's a Mr. Colleen that would read a little better if it were just Sean Killeen.
There's some other Mr. Colleen's above too. This is not, I don't know why. Is this the version I sent out earlier today?
This is not. This is
The original
a-
Word version.
this is an older version that I searched through my email to find.
All right. Well, if we're gonna do it this way, then all the Mr. Colleen's were changed in the version that doesn't seem to be editable.
All right, let's see here. Change every Mr. Colleen to Sean. All right, all the Mr. Colleens are now Sean Colleens.
Likely, it might be in different, I think it's highlighted. If you scroll up, the word likely, yeah, it's there. It's okay.
Yeah, I think anything that Dan actually edited, I just accepted all of the changes.
Yes. Okay, so then those are, so then I think the only other thing I had done was to go through for the Mr. Colleens.
Yeah. All right, let me just finish reading the Article 31 discussion here. All right, so this is the meeting where we were discussing the bunch of boozies, the sustainability. So I guess Brendan, I guess you could direct that citizen to watch the March 16th meeting on YouTube. All right, great. All right, any other edits on these minutes? All right, if not, then can I get a motion to approve the minutes of March 16th, 2022 as edited on screen?
So moved.
Second.
Right, I'm gonna move in a second. Let's vote. Mark,
Aye.
Steve,
Aye.
Dan,
Aye.
Brendan,
Aye.
Jane,
Aye.
Peter,
Aye.
Wasim.
Aye.
And I'm also an aye. Great, so meetings are approved 8-0. Sorry, I'm just making sure that I save my minutes to the appropriate spot here. Oh yeah, my only other edit will be to eliminate draft here. All right. Great. Can I motion? Can I motion? Can I get a motion to close the meeting?
So moved.
Second.
All right. All right. We'll do it right. All right. Steve.
Aye.
Brendan.
Aye.
Dan.
Aye.
Jane. Mark.
Aye.
Peter.
Aye.
And I'm also an aye. 7:34. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thank you.